you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here to talk about Lauren the Mortician. She is a really big TikToker that I happen to know, and she's recently being discussed because of some antics that she has gotten herself involved in. But I'm going to break it down for you guys and we're going to talk about it. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so today we're here to talk about Lauren the Mortician, and in the year 2021, I kind of fell down a little bit of a rabbit hole with TikTok morticians. I know that that might seem very weird to some people, but the kind of the funeral industry and those kinds of professionals have always interested me. I think that they have really interesting stories to tell and kind of things that they share. And I discovered a couple on TikTok that I ended up kind of following along. And I'm no longer following Lauren, but it's not for the reasons that you guys might think. It's actually just because she moved away from her original content and I was no longer interested. So I just stopped following her, but I know who she is. And I also follow Genesis Bellafrindi. I also follow Hollis Funeral Home. Her name is Elaine, and she runs a funeral home in New York alongside her dad. They have a really cool relationship. It actually reminds me a lot of me and my dad. And so there were a few there that I followed, and also this guy Nathan. He's a smaller creator, but I also found him because obviously once you follow one, the TikTok algorithm is going to continue to suggest the same types of creators who make similar content, and that's exactly what happened. And I thought a few of them were interesting, and I still follow all of them except for Lauren. Lauren was a very short time working mortician, but she found success on TikTok. Her content also shifted. She went from a mortician who would share all kinds of stories, at least from what I saw, and she then started focusing really heavily on things that could literally kill your babies. And then she moved into really heavily focusing on like child safety and hazardous things that especially infants are subjected to because of their parents. And basically, in my opinion, she was really cashing in on parents that were just complete idiots, because a lot of the things that she would say, now granted, of course, I have to put the obvious disclaimer, no, I'm not a parent, I don't have children, but a lot of the stuff that she would say I knew from common sense. And so it kind of seemed like, I mean, if you had kids that were toddlers and you literally didn't know that you need to keep a gate around your pool, then I kind of question like what's going on here. You know what I mean? And that might be a little judgmental, but that's just my opinion, and that's the way that it goes. But Lauren really transitioned her content. I ended up losing interest in it, and over the last couple of days, she's been being talked about heavily on TikTok. Now, Lauren has about 2.5 million followers over on TikTok. She's also on Instagram. She also has a YouTube channel that is right now sitting at about 6,000 subscribers, and she basically just uses it to re-upload some of her TikToks, and she's not very active on YouTube. Now, one of the things that I found really interesting is that Lauren was actually only a practicing mortician for about a year. From the way that she would deliver her videos and talk about things that she knew as matter of fact, this is the way that it is, and I am educated and experienced to provide this video backed up by my own education and my own experience. I kind of thought that she was in the industry for at least 5 to 7 years. She just spoke as if she knew more than everybody else that was even possibly going to come across that video. But I also thought, hey, maybe that's just her delivery. But it turns out that she was actually only in the field practicing for about a year. And I think that when you're making this kind of content where you're trying to educate people, it is kind of important that you've kind of kept up with practicing your like perfecting your practice, and I don't know, she was just doing it for a year, and she is a mortician. Like, that is her branding. It's very much, I am a mortician, I am a scarred mortician. I have seen so much during my time as a mortician, but you've only practiced for about a year and you got out of it once you made it big on social media, based on my seat as a watcher of all of this. Now, as I mentioned, Lauren kind of pivoted her content from funeral related education and funeral stories, I guess, is a good way to explain it, to this very niche sort of content of child safety, and these are the things you need to do if you want your child to survive childhood, and especially if you want them to survive infancy. And her followers, like I said, she had over 2.5 million followers on, or she has over 2.5 million followers on TikTok. The people that would watch her videos would absolutely like take her advice. So she came out and said something, or said you need this product to save your child's life, her audience would absolutely buy into it. And she, was very popular. People were taking her word. They, you know, this is the really interesting thing, because even though she is a mortician, you would think that you would want to be taking that advice from a child safety expert, or somebody who, knows more than being a practicing mortician for a year. But hey, what do I know? Again, I'm not a parent. Um, she just pivoted as if that was, she knows everything about being a mortician, but she also knows everything about, how to not kill your child, was the vibe that I got. And here's my kind of opinion on taking somebody's advice of whether a product is safe, whether or not you need a product, whether or not it's going to actually save your life, your child's life, or whatever. I can understand listening to multiple opinions. Now, if you guys watched my video, I think it was about a week or so ago, I'll link it down below in case you missed it, but I talked about the Fi GPS dog collar. I'm a really passionate dog owner, and I've seen so many horror stories of dogs escaping their backyard, even though they never did that. Had the dog for 10 years and they've never escaped, they never run away. The dog has really good recall, it broke off its leash. Like, I've heard so many different stories. And me being a really passionate dog owner, I shared my experience with that product and how it had worked for, our household, and how it worked for Axel. But if I put that out, like, I don't automatically expect everybody to listen to every single thing that I had to say praising this product. I always encourage people, go do your own research, talk to your veterinarian, talk to other dog owners in your life, get multiple different opinions. I always encourage you guys to get multiple opinions, read the reviews, think about where you're spending your money. I think we all want to be educated consumers, and if my opinion can go into the kind of melting pot of you making a decision that's best for your household, then I'm honored to be in that melting pot. But my opinion is never, I'm not going to ever put my opinion on a product above somebody else's, because they might have had a different experience with it and they are entitled to that. As long as they actually bought the product and used it, they're entitled to have a different experience than I did. I am just here to give you guys the info and do with it what you will. I am not an expert. I don't want to come off as an expert. I am just somebody who once in a while will talk about a product that helped to make our lives easier, or provide me peace of mind, or whatever. Now we need to talk about Jamie Grayson, because as I just mentioned, when you're talking about multiple different people giving their opinions on the safety of a product, the accuracy of a product description, whether or not it worked, whether or not it was a fail, what kind of backup evidence does it have to back up the claims. Like, once we're talking about different people giving their opinions, there are certain people that are actually experts in the field. This is where we meet the fellow TikTok creator. His name is Jamie Grayson. And Jamie and Lauren were actually mutuals. So they were both making content that they were really passionate about when it came to specifically things like car seats and products geared towards very young, infants, in between infants and, say, pre-K age. They were both making this kind of content, and instead of allowing the expert to be the expert and her be somebody who worked as a mortician and is now very passionate about child safety as well, instead of allowing both of those things to happen simultaneously, she took issue with the fact that this guy, as an expert, was making content that was, quote, similar to hers on his own channel. This is where things get very, very messy, and I'm trying to not draw this out too much, but I want you guys to get a very clear picture as to everything that's unfolded, because it was a lot for me to kind of try to unpack. So I hope that I can make this digestible for you guys, but that is where Jamie enters the picture. Now, Jamie's official title, for anyone who is wondering, he's a child passenger safety technician, and he has many, many years of experience. He has been in this field for 20 years, which, if you think about how often products change and safety protocols are altered, that's a lot of time and that's a lot of education. He is certified in this field. So there, in my opinion, there is nothing wrong with him as somebody who is certified and able to give this advice on these products, for him to be able to make content on his TikTok. There is nothing wrong with this, but Lauren thought otherwise. Now, like I said, Jamie is on TikTok and he has his own platform where he's been making his content. And I want to just toss in here that Jamie has not been making content for like 6 months. This is something that he's been doing for a really long time, sharing his advice, feedback, criticism on baby gear, strollers, car seats, things that are intended to keep your child safe. Speaking of car seats, this is where their kind of tiff starts to implode. There is a car seat that swivels to the side, and Jamie said that it was completely safe based on his expertise, his certifications, his knowledge, and all of the things. So he's over here saying, yes, this is a safe car seat to use. Lauren, who is not experienced in the field like Jamie is, she is a mortician who worked for 1 year in the mortuary field, and then decided to do social media and still use that Mortician tag to grow her social media platform. She's sitting over here on this side saying the swivel car seat is bad. So it's a simple disagreement, which you would think, just, okay, we don't agree on this product, whatever, like, allow people to do their own research and come to their own conclusions. Lauren could not allow that to happen. So this kind of difference of opinion continued to unravel, and Jamie filmed this video, which I will include a little snippet of for reference, and he basically stated the obvious, that Lauren is giving this opinion, but she is not certified in the same field that he is certified in. So people taking in this content where they're on her page tagging him, he's the one that's certified, she is not certified. People need to make sure that if they are going to actually go through with a purchase, that they are fully educated and they have gotten the opinions from the people that they trust most. And that matters. Like, obviously child safety, it really matters. It's a really, really big deal. But instead of allowing people to do their own research and be encouraged to do their own research and come to the best conclusion that they are able to come to. Lauren took this so far left.
In no way hate Lauren the Mortician post. I follow her, we follow each other, we are mutuals. I like her content. What is not okay is I'm getting tagged all over the place on her account about car seats. I am a CPST. I was first certified as a child passenger safety technician about 10 years ago, and I am now dual certified as a CPST in America and Canada. Okay? Lauren now is not a CPST. She's found out today she's going to go through the class. Great. We need more. We need more. She's intelligent. We need more people who care about this. But right now, her opinion on car seats and what dictates if a seat is safe or not, along with anyone else, if you do not work in this space, it does not matter. That's full stop. That's it. There's all car seats that are legal and regulated that are on the market are safe when used correctly. Okay? So these videos about the revolving seats not being safe, no, they're fine. They're fine when they're used correctly.
This is where things get very dark. She posted this on Facebook and said, honest Q, question. Would you take baby product advice is in all capital letters, from a man who has no children, has 12 to 15 strollers inside their living room, also attempts to give baby wearing / baby carrier product recommendations, car seat recs, and high chair recommendations to actual mothers? You know, just wondering, hypothetically and all, because I sure the F want it. Especially when they link these products conveniently in their bio for you to purchase so they make commissions and gain financially from that. Never having used the product with a physical baby on a day-to-day basis. Nah, me either, just checking. So there's a lot wrong with this post. Number one, to attempt to label this gay man as some sort of creep for having 12 to 15 strollers inside their living room is it's an atrocity. It's disgusting, and it makes my stomach turn that people like this actually exist. To take something where this is his job, this is what he is certified in, this is what he has been doing for 20 years. He tests baby gear, baby safety products. There is nothing weird about this individual having strollers in his home. And for Lauren to try to twist that into something else makes me so irate and disgusted. It is bad enough that gay men and gay women are improperly looked upon by some people in society. And there are people out there who think that gay people are not able to have a family, or they shouldn't have a family, or they don't deserve to have a family. And then you have somebody here with a huge platform that could be an advocate. Or if you're not going to be an advocate, keep your damn mouth shut. But for her to come out with this is so reckless and dangerous, and frankly, it is just cruel and disgusting for her to try to paint this picture that Jamie is some kind of creepy man who just collects strollers for some creepy hobby or some kind of fetish that he has. And as far as taking baby product recommendations from a person who is not a parent, I will ask you this. This is a very common sense kind of question. Would you go to a pediatrician or a pediatric dentist or, any other health professional that didn't have a child? Do you screen your pediatrician to say, do you have children, before you decide to take your kids there for their sick visits or, their vaccines or any annual checkup or anything, do you ask your doctor? Because if you're asking your doctor or the medical staff if they have children, that is extremely inappropriate, first of all. And second of all, somebody's education is what matters. In this scenario, same with the medical scenario, I would hope that you're taking your kids to this professional because they have their degree and they have the proper training and they have been educated in the field that you want your child, endocrinologist, cardiologist, pediatrician, general doctor. Like, what on earth does having a child have to do with what field you are educated in? And I'm not saying that, oh, well, you're a parent, so your opinion doesn't matter if you're working with these products every day. You should go and collect numerous different opinions. But to simply shun this man's opinion when he has been properly certified, and just shun him because he doesn't have a child, and then try to paint him as some kind of weirdo creep is appalling. And it's disgusting. Now we need to talk about the Dumb Blonde podcast. And if you guys don't know about that podcast, it is run by Bunny, who is Jelly Roll's wife. And I don't listen to Jelly Roll. I don't know a whole lot about him personally, but I do know that Bunny is his wife and Bunny has a podcast. She's had many popular TikTokers on her podcast previously, and she had Lauren the Mortician on her podcast. Now I will include a clip because what is said in this clip is just so twisted by Lauren. She tries to paint it as if, and of course they bleep out his name, but it's very obvious that she's talking about Jamie. Nobody is stupid. But you're trying to make it sound like this guy is just some weird, unhinged person who unfairly targeted you. He made a hate post. He's hating on me and being all weird about it. This is somebody who was her mutual, and she decided that her opinion should be more important than his. They had a disagreement of opinions, and she wanted her voice to be the loudest in the room. Instead of allowing multiple opinions to be, going around simultaneously, just allow opinions to be opinions. Allow your audience to do their own research, because I would hope that they are, as I said, going to people that are properly certified in said field when it comes to literally buying a car seat. Literally, one of the most important purchases that you can make for an infant is the car seat. So why don't you encourage your audience, after stating your opinion, why don't you encourage them to go to somebody like Jamie, who is certified and knows what they're talking about, instead of just saying, this is my opinion and it's the right one. Even though you have someone over here who is able to give said information, but you want to be louder than him. And then you're going to literally try to paint the guy as some creep because he tests this baby gear and has it in his home. But you want it to be creepy and gross because that is your narrative.
A big creator?
Just like a creator.
They think that they're big.
Can you say who it is? We'll bleep their name out.
Yeah. It's the person.
I don't know who that is.
You probably don't know him.
It's a dude.
It's a dude. He started this whole hate campaign on me because I blocked him because he was super hateful towards people that were following me and tagging me and stuff. So I kept getting tagged in car seat videos, and I would send him the videos I would get tagged in because we were mutuals, and they said that I had a parasocial relationship with them.
What?
Yes.
What is that? Like an online relationship?
So essentially what it means is that I thought we were friends, and I formed this fake friendship in my head. So he's trying to call me crazy.
This dude sounds like a whack job. I wouldn't want to take any advice about my child from
Ever.
him. And I don't even know who he is. He's very in tune with his feminine side.
Yeah. So he has a certificate that says that he can talk to people about car seat safety, so I can't. And I'm like, you know what? I'm a mom. I use car seat every goddamn day.
Did he make the own certificate?
He sure printed it off on ink after the 60-hour course that he took.
Good Lord.
And moms are more than capable.
Is he a parent?
No.
And
No.
people are taking advice from this person?
Yeah, apparently he's a big deal.
I'm going to have to go fucking lurk who this is after this just to like,
Yeah.
this is
I've
crazy
never
that
seen
he's
this
not
person.
a parent and he's giving car seat parent advice.
So he has this link in his bio. He wants you to pay him so that he'll teach you how to put a car seat in properly in the car. And I'm like,
And doesn't have kids.
doesn't have kids.
I'm sorry,
you can
but
go to the fire station for free for that, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then if you say that, then you have to make an appointment. Make sure that somebody's there that's CPSD certified.
wow.
But I'm a mom. I'm a mom. I can go on YouTube and look at the video of how to
Yeah.
put my car seat in. It comes with a manual.
Yeah.
So
It's
moms,
like a dude telling you how to carry a pregnancy.
yeah, like moms can do shit too. We
Yeah.
are like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have a man tell me,
Yeah.
especially a childless man, that I cannot talk about what car seat I would or wouldn't use.
Yeah.
And of course, Bunny and her co host are just eating up everything that Lauren is saying, which to me is just very ignorant to. You know, I get it. Like, you're the podcast host, you're going to listen to what this person has to say, but to then literally be like, well, I'm not going to take any advice from someone who doesn't have a child. But what if that person has 20 years of experience and is properly certified? Are you still not going to take their advice? That goes back to the conversation I was just having about doctors. So stupid. Lauren has put out many pieces of false information, and when she is corrected by people that are professionals, like doctors and nurses and people in the medical field specifically, she doubles down. She never comes back to correct the information or educate herself or put out a corrected statement on something that she got wrong. She wants to be the child safety expert, even though she has zero proper training in the area of child safety. And there was another post that she put out where she was calling children's vaccines the pokey stick and pushes this weird concoction that is made in some random person's kitchen. She puts this in her child's juice, and it's a detox for after they get stuck with the pokey sticks at the doctor's office.
I have trust issues. And yes, I've gone down the rabbit hole, especially what is in the pokey sticks that my kids get at the doctor's office. So I just wanted to share with you something I found that I love. So after we come back from the doctor's office, I put my kids in the tub and we...
I've danced around this issue for a while. Honestly, I don't know how to address it. So I'm just gonna try to stay factual, okay? Lauren, I'm a pediatrician. Sounds like you're not anti-vaccine, but then later on in your video, you go on and you talk about supplements and detox baths, none of which have any safety profile, none of which have been regulated, none of which are safe for children. This is one of the things you talk about. It's meant to be something that is ingested. And look at these ingredients here. These are not harmless ingredients. At the very least, several of these will cause stomach cramping, diarrhea, and vomiting. And at the very most, it can actually cause immune suppression, which is actually that reduces inflammation and whatnot. Those are not real claims. Those are false claims, which actually is ironic when the purpose of a vaccine is to induce an immune response. I will say, as a pediatrician, that you have given incorrect information when it comes to child safety in the past. I remember you saying something about sewing a child's pajama feet together so they don't escape a crib. Your assessment of car seat safety comes from beyond a just mother stating whether or not she likes something. You come at it with an inflection of being a child safety expert. You seem to have a lot of animosity with Jamie Grayson, who is an expert. And that's okay. We all make friends and enemies on this app. It's just the way that it works. But as a pediatrician, what I've seen is that your account started off great with lots of education and then started swerving into an environment where you gladly accepted the role of a child safety expert and then started to embody that but then give false information and not correct yourself when you were told by other experts that this was false information. Y'all, I was gonna let this go, but
Pediatrician bullying moms online. So because I decide to have a routine for my kids after they get poked to make them more comfortable at home, that all of a sudden makes me anti something.
So I think we have different definitions of bullying, but you have a very large platform and people listen to you. The thing I noticed is in your video, you don't ever actually say the word vaccine. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's a TikTok algorithm thing.
A degree in science, so I know about vaccines, and in order to be a mortician, I had to get special ones just in case I poke myself with a needle.
I mean, I have a degree in science too. We don't need to make this a pissing contest, do we, on education? Because I'd probably win. And that's not the point. The point is that if you are pro-science, then you would understand that natural remedies that are not evidence-based are also problematic and should not be recommended for children. Now, I'm not going to dog you on doing what you're doing for your own children because I don't know you personally, I don't know your situation, and you probably have a pediatrician that you're having these types of discussion with. However, I do have a problem when you go online and you tell people that this is what you do for your kids and that this is how they can buy it, when I clearly outlined in my video that that's dangerous. And other things that you've said are dangerous too. So I'm coming at you here, not from an accusatory standpoint, just from an educational standpoint. And then you're kind of jumping back at me and accusing me of being a bully. So that kind of does prove the fact that you're not open to experts coming at you when your information is wrong.
And I consistently say that I am an opinionated mother. And I just want to share tips on how to keep people alive and what I do with my own kids. This is just so sad at this point.
I'm a pediatrician with a vibrant personality. I got a lot to say. But if you say something that's wrong with a huge platform and that could harm people, it's okay for someone with credentials to come out and go, actually, that was wrong. Like, that's even happened to me before, and I just go ahead and correct the thing that I said that I was wrong because I also care about the safety and well-being of children and families and parents, and I want to do well by them. I don't want anyone to go, I listened to one of your videos, I did what you said, and my child was harmed. And I would guess, as a mortician who's probably seen a thing or two, you agree with me. So here's the conclusion. You are a mother with an opinion. I'm a pediatrician with education and an opinion as well. A lot of what you've done has not sat well with me, which is why I'm addressing you one-on-one now, whereas I've just sat by kind of on the sidelines up until now. When I see people talking about supplements for children, I speak up. If I see someone making a recommendation for someone to sew a child's pajama pants together, I'll speak up. When I see someone that says stuff that could potentially harm kids, especially someone with a huge platform, and I see the videos just kind of get more and more traction, I speak up. Try to do this respectfully. If there's a way that you wanted me to do it more respectfully, please let me know. And I'm totally serious about that. Or we could continue the TikTok drama wars. God, this app. Also, please put a fence around your kid's pool because that would be tragic. I mean, surely you've made videos about water safety and drownings too, right? Natural is not always a good thing. Do whatever you want to do behind the scenes when it comes to your family, but please be careful what you say online.
There's just been a lot of really problematic things that Lauren has put out. And again, it goes back to she's not a doctor. She's not qualified. She worked for a year as a mortician. And she thinks that she should be the voice in child safety. She jumped all over Jamie for having a link in his bio where you can buy these products that he has given his educated review on and possibly suggestion on. But that weird potion that's made in a random person's kitchen that she literally gives to her children in their juice, she also had a promo code for that. So it seems like Lauren wants to be the voice. She wants to make all of the money and she wants to gain all of the followers. And she's really not qualified to be kind of diving into the shallow pool that she has created. I'm very disappointed in Lauren. Another day, another disappointment. You know what I mean? When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. I will link a couple of other commentary videos down below because I have a feeling that I'm gonna, go down the rabbit hole and watch a few of these. So I will link some additional ones. I might make an update on this depending on how it kind of unfolds, but I am really disappointed. Lauren could have been a really loud voice in child safety. However, you have to know when to kind of share the court and allow people that are properly certified and trained to have the louder voice because they went through the training. You didn't. If you want to, you should. But until you do, allow those who know what the hell they're talking about when it comes to a literal car seat to have the floor. Share the mic with somebody who knows what they're talking about. But I am very disappointed. But what's new? Nothing. But either way, for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.